You're listening to Pack Dynamics, a Fandom on the Rocks podcast. Hello, welcome to Fandom on the Rocks. This is Emily.
And I'm Alison.
And we have a brand new show for you. This is going to be Pack Dynamics, a Teen Wolf podcast.
Because we needed to rewatch and a little bit redive into the fandom as we're getting salty about all the things on Tumblr that gave us joy.
Yes. As we've done with Glee and Supernatural, why watch new things when you can also rewatch old things?
Correct.
And I think this partly came up because they did the Teen Wolf movie. What was that?
For better or for worse.
I still haven't watched it.
Me neither.
That was last year, I want to say. So if this is 2023.
No, it was this year.
It was this year?
It was not that long ago. It was a few months ago.
Yikes. Okay.
We may watch it. We might.
Yeah, sure.
I know as much about it as I need to from the internet. Tumblr has been really, really sweet to us. And there we go.
Yeah, it happened. It was a movie in so far that it was more than the length of an episode.
Correct.
Right?
And some good stuff happened. Some good stuff happened.
Yeah, actors got paid.
Correct. Love that. Love that for them.
Love that for them.
We got to deal with a lot of stuff before we get to the movie.
Yes. Yeah, Teen Wolf was a TV show on MTV, which I probably should have done some looking up of some facts about Teen Wolf, the TV show, before I started talking about it.
Let's see. It's billed as being 6 seasons, although we know that that's not entirely true because of the way that they split up seasons 3, 5, and 6.
Yes.
But it ran from 2011 to 2017. I think you and I stumbled into it in about 2013.
That feels right because we were in LA.
Yes.
Yes.
And launched the sort of mainstream careers of a bunch of folks, including Tyler Posey, Tyler Hoechlin, and Dylan O'Brien.
What a great trio.
Good times.
Yeah,
good
for
times.
better or worse.
Good times. Good times.
Yes. It is also a remake / take off, or really rather loosely based on the 1985 film of the same name that starred the wonderful Michael J. Fox as a teenager who finds out that he is a werewolf. And if you have not seen the 1985 Teen Wolf, you are doing yourself a disservice.
You got to see it. It's campy in the way that all fabulous 80s movies are just made of utter camp, and it is 100% worth a watch.
It is. You don't necessarily need to see the sequel, Teen Wolf 2, TOO, but it's also fun.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, we got into this, I think, just because we were living together in LA and it came on. I don't honestly remember why we started watching this other than some of the cast is super attractive.
So Emily and I moved to Los Angeles in 2013 together. We're old friends. And we moved in with a friend of ours. And this friend of ours was like, have you guys seen Teen Wolf? And we're like, have we seen what? Right. And it must have been like right after season 2, because he talks about how he ran into some of the cast during a convention.
Yes.
And all I remember was talking about Alison's hair, that apparently like her hair gets better in season 2. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay. And having seen it now, I know what he means. But yeah, I think we got into it right as season 3 was starting.
Okay.
So both you and I dove headfirst into Tumblr, and that's sort of where the takeover began.
Got it. That's right. I completely forgot that it was this other person's fault. I blocked that.
And if you're listening, we love you and thank you for everything.
Yes, indeed. Wow, I forgot we had someone to blame for this.
We did. It wasn't just us. It was a family effort. It was a community. It was a pack problem, as it were.
A pack problem. There we go. Great. Well, the things you put out of your mind as you progress through life. Memories. Now I'm just reminiscing about Los Angeles.
I want to start singing, but that's probably not the vibe.
Not the vibe. Yeah, so the creator here is Jeff Davis. We could have a entirely other podcast about Jeff Davis. We don't need to do that.
If you're a delightful and loyal listener to Glee on the Rocks, I think you're going to find that we talk a little bit about Jeff Davis. We have similar feelings for Jeff Davis as we do for Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
Equal parts incredibly grateful for what they put out, and other parts just like head banging, just why have you made this choice? Why?
Yeah. You know, a creator who starts out with like a vision, things are going pretty well, and then all of a sudden you're like, what did you do to this property and why? Why is this happening?
So we have, like with Ryan Murphy, we have eternal gratitude for Jeff Davis because he made this thing. And this thing has been a part of my life now for, 12 years?
Oh,
and I'm very, very grateful for it. And also, sometimes I wonder the conversations that led to the answers that we see on screen.
Yes, and as we progress in this podcast, I think we'll probably do some background work of looking up interviews and maybe seeing if we can pull apart some of these decisions that were made. There's always, in the making of TV shows, there are always behind the scenes work that gets done as there's cast changes and there are deals that are made and kind of behind the scenes reasons why some things happen that are not necessarily plot driven, which is unfortunate because it can change the tenor of a show in ways that fans do not like and maybe the creators were not anticipating. Or sometimes it's just the creator.
Yeah, and sometimes the fans don't necessarily understand why a decision was made. And I don't know about you, but I have certainly felt personally betrayed by TV shows,
Absolutely.
even though it's not, I don't get to be personally offended by TV shows. They did not set out to be like, oh, how can I ruin Allison's life specifically today? It's like, that's not what they did. That was not the purpose.
No, but sometimes it does feel that way.
And sometimes it does feel that way.
Yes. So I guess with that, we can dive into the pilot of the Teen Wolf, the series, Teen Wolf, the show.
Teen Wolf, yeah. The MTV's Teen Wolf.
MTV's Teen Wolf, season 1, episode 1, Wolf Moon. Aptly titled, I think. We'll have to see how these titles progress because sometimes TV show titles are not amazing. I do love this was the Hulu summary for this episode, which is simply Scott is bitten during the search for a missing body, gaining strange abilities.
And yeah, that's the point of the episode. There's a lot of other seeds that are sown, but that is the primary thing that happens in this episode.
Incredibly stark. No just Scott, a person. No, like for your pilot description, Hulu, who is currently running this series because streaming is getting really upsetting with what they're airing and what they're not airing. And who knows if by the time we finish recording this series, who will be streaming the show. We could maybe add a little more details about this show.
A little context. Some context clues.
Yes.
A teenage boy, comma, Scott,
Yes.
comma, gets bitten one night.
Yeah.
By a scary monster.
Anything to provide the viewers as to what they might be watching. But this did air June 5th, 2011. So we are right on target.
We are right on target. Date. Wow.
Yeah, love it.
Happy birthday, Teen Wolf.
Totally planned, right?
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
100%.
100% planned.
100% planned.
So right now we're recording episode 1, but they did air episode 1 and 2 back to back, which I think is smart of shows to do that so that you get kind of a 1-2 punch of your show. Because sometimes the pilot episodes of shows are a little iffy.
And they're usually so different. Than the second in a series.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that always really strikes me about the pilot is how different it looks to the rest of the show.
100%. Yeah, my notes are like, it's just like a nice atmospheric opening. It's kind of creepy. There are these like cops in the woods with dogs. It's foggy. It's dark. Like it's got
the jacket with the Beacon County Sheriff's Office badge on it. You're like, oh, is this going to be a police show?
It's got a true crime kind of, like a dark, moody vibe to it. And there's nothing in the first 10 seconds or 20 seconds that makes you think this is going to be kind of a goofy, kid-driven procedural about bad CGI monsters.
Correct. Because we move from the police and the dogs in the woods, in the scary woods, to zooming in on this enormous house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the McCall house is enormous. Let's be real about that. And you kind of get to go through the house a little bit and you meet this kid. And this kid is Scott McCall. And the first thing you see him doing is like relacing his lacrosse stick. I think there's a term for it, but he's just doing super strong pull-ups on the door frame. And he's like, oh, you can tell he's like, oh, it's just a teenage boy. And the first time I think I saw this, I was like, okay, so we're like dark, spooky in the woods. We get it. We get this like teenage boy who's definitely not in the woods. Like, is something going to happen to this boy?
Yeah.
The answer is yes, but not yet.
Yeah, he definitely screams main character.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
I did also love, and it really carries, I think, with Scott and Styles for at least the first couple of seasons, that they look like normal kids.
They do. They're just kids.
Yeah, I love that. It was like not to carry things to Glee, but it's like on the brain all the time because of these shows. A lot of the Glee kids do not look like high school students.
No, at
And
all.
it's in part because they're 25, right?
Right.
And I don't remember, and I could look it up. I don't know how old the actors are when they started filming Teen Wolf, but at least their styling and their hair and makeup, they look more realistic as high school students,
Yeah.
especially in these early episodes. He's got
Yeah,
this
they
like
really do.
floppy hair.
Yeah, the floppy puppy hair.
Yeah, he's got a look on his face that just says like insecure, a little doofy.
I'm 15. I
Mhm.
wanna play sports and talk to pretty girls and not fail chemistry. Like, that's all I want in life.
Yeah, like, my best friend is an Adderall-driven goof who is the quintessential true crime girl. Like,
Correct.
they vibe as teenagers, and I really appreciate that because in contrast, Lydia does not. Lydia looks like a woman, and that's fine because I think that's her vibe,
Yeah,
her vibe. She's meant to come across as someone desperately trying to seem put together.
and unattainable,
Yes.
as Styles will later introduce us to Lydia, that she's just completely unattainable.
Yeah.
She's over high school, she's over this. I'm too smart, I'm too pretty, I'm too good to be here.
Yeah. So I trying to come at these shows now as an adult with the hate watch goggles off and being like,
Yeah,
you know what, this is working. This works. They seem acting chops aside, they are realistic.
for sure.
We cannot pass by the introduction of Styles, however.
Absolutely not, because I'm gonna put on my Scott McCall hat for a second. So Scott hears some funny noises and goes downstairs out to his little like patio, his little porch, and so two pieces.
Okay, he has a fabulous house, just to
Yes,
say.
he does.
Again, not to
It's an
pass this
incredible
by.
house. It's an incredible house. Like, let's not be shy about that. But two really important pieces of iconography in the show up in Scott. So this night, Scott is wearing a red hoodie,
Mhm.
and Scott, to go confront the scary noise, brings a bat.
Yeah, I noticed that. It was funny.
In my head, I know that he's carrying a bat, but it's not until I look at him next to Styles and go, "Oh, Scott introduces the bat. Oh, okay."
Mhm. Yeah, I thought it was funny of, like, is that purposeful or it was just, like, at some point the writers were like, "Hey, we like that bat, give it to Styles."
Yeah. Scott's got claws. He doesn't need it no more. Give it to Styles.
Yeah, right. Like, "No, no, just give that bat to Styles." Yeah, those were good call outs. I like that.
And so then we are introduced to Styles.
Who does not yet have a last name, so he is just Styles.
And so Scott is like on the patio, like ready to confront this super scary noise that he heard. And from above falls down his friend, hanging off by his little feet
Mhm.
for reasons.
Incredible. Incredible introduction. No notes.
And the two of them start screaming at each other because Scott almost hit Styles with a baseball bat. And Scott is like, "What are you doing here?" And Styles is like, "What are you doing with a bat?" And this is just the interaction of two incredibly soft teenage boys not thinking things all the way through.
They are soft boys. I like
They
that.
are. They are.
We got the Jeep.
Yes, the Jeep.
Yes. Well, Styles is there because he has been listening in to the police dispatch radio as a good true crime girl would be doing.
Correct.
And two joggers have found half of a body
Yeah.
in the woods.
Yeah.
And
Quote, two joggers found a body in the woods. That's such
Yeah.
a true crime girl.
yes, they are going to go look for it because why not? I
Because
guess.
why not?
Yeah. I love that. I think they're like, let's just go out to the Beacon Hills Preserve and look for half of a body. Incredible.
I just want to look at a corpse today. Like, that's super cool. That's totally normal. A regular day. That's what I do the day before school starts, is go and look for corpses.
Middle of the night.
Deep sigh.
Love it. Absolutely no notes about this. Scott, to add to his soft boy characteristics, is a severe asthmatic, which is a bit of a plot point about his transformation that comes later. They do obviously run into Styles's dad, who is the sheriff.
And
Our first favorite character?
our first favorite character, Papa Sheriff Stalinsky, eventually he'll get a first name and we reject it, but
Yeah,
that's
it's boring.
okay. But Sheriff Stalinsky comes out and finds his own son. He finds Styles. But as a good dad always knows, where there is one, there is two.
Yep.
And is like, "Is Scott here?" And Styles is like, "No, absolutely not. Scott's not here. Scott's never been here."
Yeah. A Scott?
Yeah.
Who's Scott? I don't know a Scott. My best friend Scott? Who's not here? Why we who travel in pairs? He's not here.
The only guy I would ever go out in trouble with? Absolutely not. Never,
Yeah.
not even once.
No.
Something that always strikes me about like the pilot, like the first 2 episodes, please pay special attention before Styles leans into his t-shirt and flannel era, which he will here soon. That boy is wearing a t-shirt and a blazer.
I know. Yeah, his outfits are not good.
That is like that's like peak 2010s.
Yeah.
It is so specific. It is so specific.
This is going to be a terrible sidebar. Not a terrible sidebar, but this is why these episodes we're going to try to keep these to be like reasonable length episodes, and this kind of sidebar is going to get us out of there. But I just saw, I think it was a tweet, even though I'm trying to stay off Twitter because fascists. It was a tweet about an upcoming series, and I don't even know the name of the series, that is set back in the 2010s. And the person was commenting on the clothing that the characters were wearing, saying, you didn't even do a bare amount of research. None of these people are dressed like it's the 2010s. And it was so obvious because they're wearing patterns and nobody was wearing like a chunky necklace, right?
Oh man.
No one was wearing like a spaghetti strap.
Yeah, to the long spaghetti strap tank top and the big
Exactly.
belt. Oh, wait till Alison gets in. Just wait.
So like the clothing is so specific to the time that when you look back on it, you're like, oh, this clothing could only have been from 2011 or 2012. So then when you look back now in 2023, you're like, oh my God, the 2011 clothing. I love it.
It's incredible.
So it's just a tangent of now shows in 2023 trying to emulate that, and they're just not doing it right. And it's the problem that I had with the Winchesters, where they're trying to emulate clothing from the early 70s, and it's like it doesn't look worn. It looks like someone who bought new clothes from 1972 and never wore it previously, right? Like if you're living in 1972, you bought your clothes in 1970, right? Like you've been wearing it for a few years. Anyway, all to say, their clothing is A+. Because it looks so specific.
It does, and it puts you back into that time. Like I see that clothing and I'm like, oh, I'm like a sophomore in high school. Okay, fantastic. I got you.
The party too. The party later, like, oh.
We'll get there, yeah. It's such early 2010s.
Yeah.
So the sheriff drags Styles out of the woods, kind of kicking and screaming like any true crime girl getting dragged away from the scene of a murder. And Scott is desperately like, okay, now I'm in the woods. And he is like shaking his inhaler and trying to breathe. And he's like, where am I going? And then out of nowhere, all of these animals come like sprinting out of the forest. And this is the like most incredibly something CGI of this episode. It is outstanding.
It looks so bad.
It looks so bad. Just like deers flying everywhere. Caw, caw, caw. And yeah, my notes here say the animals are all running from blank and Scott dropping his inhaler in the woods with the world's most awesome CGI.
It looks so cheap. I love it.
But you know what? If scary CGI deer came flying at me in the middle of the night in the dark forest, I too would drop my inhaler and look for it with my cell phone flashlight, which Scott does.
He doesn't even use the cell phone flashlight. He uses the screen because
it's
2011 and they don't have flashlights on the front.
Oh my gosh, this was peak.
It's so good.
But Scott, is looking for his inhaler, but as any best friend of a true crime girly, what does he find?
The body.
He finds the top half of the body, and it's she looks at me and I look at him and she looks at me and I look at him.
Yeah. I did appreciate that it was kind of gross. Like I like gross horror. Like nothing actually grosses me out anymore, which is maybe a problem. But I was like, oh, that makeup on that dead girl looks kind of good.
It does. So I'm going to do some timeline speculation. So if you're watching this for the first time and don't want spoilers, like skip, like just mute me for the next like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this. So timeline, Laura has been dead for like maybe a day because the hikers found her, but they found her in daylight, which means that at this point in the series, Peter is fully healed and Derek may or may not yet be in town because Derek came to find Laura. So lacrosse practice, quote unquote, according to Styles, starts tomorrow, which means maybe the first day of school. Or did Peter kill Laura like that same day, tonight, the same night he bit Scott? Like all of this that we like kind of unpack in season 1 happens, I think, within the span of like 24 hours.
Yes, I
I
think you're right.
Yeah. So there's some beautiful person on a Discord that I'm part of did a full-on timeline, and I have to go dig that up and see if I can find it. But yeah, the timeline, especially of season 1, is just so compact. It's so small.
Yes. Yeah. Because I mean, I'm assuming werewolves decompose at the same rate. Like, she's fresh.
Yeah, she's fresh.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, so Peter could not have been doing stuff for more than a day at this
Yeah.
point, maybe 2.
Yeah.
So, all
Yep. Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Now we're going to close the lid for spoilers. Thank you for your patience.
yeah. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, it makes movie sense,
It
TV
makes movie
sense.
sense. Yeah.
Okay.
So Scott finds the girl, and the girl's looking at him, and he's very upset by this, and he whirls around in the forest, and then he sees something and goes, "Hmm." And what does he find? But off in the distance, there's a red-eyed, spooky, scary, giant monster.
Yeah.
Ah! Ah!
It is Harry Potter level of werewolf scary. It's not my
Werewolf scary.
favorite.
No, it's not my favorite either.
Yeah.
So I have an aside here. There's a shot. So like Scott sees the scary monster and the scary monster comes to run at him and Scott tries to run away. But there's a shot here of Scott getting like, he like falls down and reaches for a branch to like pull himself away.
Mm.
And there's a shot that's very similar to that at the end of the season.
Mm.
And I thought that that was a funny like little juxtaposition that they
Yeah.
may or may not have done on purpose. And then also funny in the way that movies can be funny, but not in the way that Scott got bitten by a scary creature. But there's a shot of Scott like screaming in fear, and he puts his hands up in the air in little claws.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, oh, the transformation is complete. It's very fun.
I like to think that they really spent some time on this pilot.
I think they did. There are like little sprinklings everywhere that show that they were paying attention to something.
So I think one, I don't want to say like a key point of that because that doesn't make any sense. But so after he's bitten, right? It's the first day of school, and the class that they're in, they're studying Kafka's Metamorphosis.
Yes, they are.
And I don't think you can read much into the plot of Metamorphosis other than the fact that it's about someone changing. I think that's enough to say that they were paying attention in this pilot to even bother putting that up on the board to be like, look, we're talking about change and metamorphosis, and
Changes.
it's like a real baseline reading of, not that I've read Kafka's Metamorphosis because like no fucking thank you, but it is a book about change, right?
Right.
On the surface
And
level, it's a book about change.
it's a book about change, and the word means change, and it's just, you know, it's kind of getting Scott to think that like, oh, maybe things are different now.
So like it's enough that the show did that. Like they're thinking things through. Is that the case in seasons 4 and 5? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
It's the
know.
Glee problem. Like, are you doing this on purpose or are you not? I can't tell.
I
But I
can't
think
tell.
in season 1 they are,
Yeah, for
which is
sure.
nice. But yes, so now Scott is undergoing some change because his hearing is crazy good all
Yeah.
of a sudden. He can hear, so there's a new girl in town sitting outside, and he can hear her phone call all the way through the window and the wall to the window to the wall
To the window, to the wall.
and all the way out to her phone call.
So I'm going to pause us for a hot second because we have to turn the car around and almost run over Scott McCall in this moment because we missed a big thing. So
Jackson.
Scott, you know, is in, well, Jackson, but Scott is in the forest and he's like trying to get away from this big scary monster, and he runs into the middle of the road and he almost gets hit by a car.
Yes, he does.
Which they will then retcon later in the series, which I think is fantastic.
Yes, I did forget that. I did forget that later they
do. They retcon that later in the series, and it just ties it all together in a beautiful way. But he finds himself like in the middle of the street, and he lifts up his sweater to show us this gigantic mouth bite, like on his like side flank.
Yeah.
My note here is it's very nice of the monster to not have bitten through his clothes.
Yes.
Because if you look at it, it's clean clothes, big bite.
It's like he pushed up his shirt
to very politely bite him in the flank. So we now know as an audience that like something happened in the forest. So he, you know, is in class and is listening to this phone call that he should not be able to hear. And we're like, I wonder why.
The best part is that the audience absolutely knows what's going on. You just have to watch Scott trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And Styles, like, Styles is the true crime girl, again, who's like, oh, I know.
Yeah. I think it was a wolf. Ugh, there are no wolves in California.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Styles.
Yeah. There are no wolves. And you're like, buddy. He's going to do like 3 seconds of Google research and figure it out. And it's going to be all good.
So, because I'm trying really hard to watch this with my goggles off, my shipping goggles.
Ah, yes.
I would be remiss to not mention this is the introduction of Styles and Lydia Martin.
Yes.
So, this is you get doing this thing is the most interesting. It's the best thing in this town since the birth of Lydia Martin. And Lydia is a character we will get to know, and she passes right by Styles.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She does not give a fuck.
She does not give a fuck. She gives no fucks. Not about Styles.
Mm-mm.
So Scott's in class and they're in the first day and they're learning about Kafka, and he hears Alison's phone call and she's like, I can't believe I forgot a pen. Mm-hmm. So she walks into class and teacher that introduces her says, hopefully Beacon Hills will be your last stop for a while. Mm-hmm. And I felt some feelings.
Spoiler alert.
I felt some feelings.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yep. Poor Alison.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Well, she's got, her own shit to work through.
And she's got quite a story arc, so she's got it. She's got some time.
Yes. Did you find, so Scott hands her a pen because he heard the phone call. Smooth or creepy? Because I was like, slow your roll, my dude. That's a little weird.
Creepy for me being in my 30s. If I were 15, it would be cute as heck.
Yeah. Because, in the mid-30s here, I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, in my 30s, I'm like, hard pass. If I were 15 and starting on a new day of school and a very cute floppy-haired boy gave me a pen, I'd be mush.
Yeah, I was like, buddy, slow the stalker behavior for a little bit.
Fair.
Yeah.
So then we get after class and, Scott and Alison are making eyes at each other because that's what you do with cute floppy-haired boys. And who comes up to Alison but Lydia Martin? And they start talking about clothes. And Scott can overhear the entire conversation because he's got his fancy new ears. And in a coup of high school popularity, Lydia looks at Alison and goes, and you are my new best friend.
Yes, the dynamics of high school popularity here, where Lydia is the alpha.
Lydia is in fact the alpha. Well, Lydia and Jackson,
Yes, Jackson is the boyfriend, but Jackson is only the top of the food chain because of Lydia.
Correct, but not that he'll believe that.
No, Jackson does not understand that he is not in fact an alpha himself, only because Lydia has chosen to put him on the top of the food chain. And only when he's a winner.
Only when he's a winner, yes. Only if he wins.
Only if he wins, yeah. And a lot of this about Lydia changes dramatically in the later seasons.
Absolutely. Her character arc is outstanding, and I cannot wait for you to see her in seasons 5 and 6.
Okay.
She gets a little more intricate and more, she comes into herself, and it's so incredibly cool to watch.
Yeah. That's good, because
I have a lot of nice things about Lydia Martin character development, but it is fun to go back to season 1 Lydia.
Great. This is a version of a high school girl that I don't know actually exists, but it's a trope that we see often, but Holland is so good at it.
Yeah.
That it's fun to watch.
It's really fun to watch. All right. So we move from class to really the only thing that matters at Beacon Hills High School, lacrosse, the sport of lacrosse. And it's the first day of practice.
I think they thought that they were going to make lacrosse a thing, and they didn't.
But they tried.
They really tried to make lacrosse a thing, but
they really tried.
Yeah. But we do get Coach Bobby Finstock.
We do. Played by just the world's funniest man, ? Orny Adams. Every single time Coach is on screen, I just don't look at anybody else. I just don't. I don't look. I don't care. I'm not present. Coach is the best. What about me? Try not to take any in the face. Okay, Coach.
Yeah. He is truly insane as a coach, and it's a wonderful character for this school.
Yeah.
It does seem like he's never actually seen a game of lacrosse and is still the coach.
It does, for sure.
Yep.
because he gets to coach some other sports later in the school year. And I'm just like, are you just the only coach? Do you just coach all the things?
I think he is.
He might just, that's just his name. It's just coach. He's just coach.
Yep.
So in this lacrosse practice scene, Scott gets to accidentally use his new superpower skills, and he's jumping and he's really fast and he's really strong. And it's, Styles is really like, oh man, that's really cool. And Scott is really excited about it. And Lydia is really excited about it because Lydia is next to Alison and trying to answer questions about Scott. So Scott's showing off. My notes say there's some gorgeous cinematography and some very bad CGI.
Yes. Yeah, the ball, the lacrosse ball coming towards the camera.
Yes.
I was like, damn, what is this?
It's intense. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So Scott is feeling good and strong at lacrosse. He's got it this year, and everyone is excited except for Jackson.
He does not like someone infringing on his lacrosse territory.
No, he does not.
Because it's like the one thing he's good at, because he's not necessarily a smart boy.
No, not necessarily.
He's got lacrosse, and it is also the thing that keeps Lydia with him.
And if he doesn't have that, then what does he have? And
yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, Jackson and his self-confidence issues will become a topic that we'll talk about a little later.
Yes. And Jackson gets a whole storyline that's weird, but good. I don't remember if it's good, but it's definitely weird.
It is good. It's just also pretty weird.
Yeah. So, Scott and Styles go back out into the woods after school because there's still a body to find, and you can't let that go.
There's a body to find, and Scott lost his inhaler, and those things are expensive.
He's not lying.
No, he's not lying.
His mom does not make a lot of money, and he cannot leave that inhaler on the ground.
No.
So Scott's out there hearing and smelling things that he's never heard nor smelled before, and Styles is just like, my bro, it's lycanthropy. As if that's not the weirdest thing anyone has ever said.
Yeah, I think it's called lycanthropy. What's that? Is it bad? Oh yeah, it's the worst, but only once a month.
You're gonna have a period, my dude.
My dude. I'd also like to point out in this particular scene, so the early seasons of Teen Wolf are notorious for their product placement.
Oh yeah.
And I believe this is the first product placement. I can smell that mint mojito gum in your pocket.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't have any mint mojito.
Yeah. Really gotta get those mint mojito gum dollars.
I think there were some mint mojito gum dollars at stake.
Yeah. Because you got the Camaro. Really.
And we'll get there. We'll get there.
Honestly, my favorite part of this whole thing is just how beautiful Derek Hale looks standing there in his leather jacket.
Indeed. So I'm going to, again, try to take my shipping goggles off as much as I can.
Absolutely not.
I'm trying to be an equal opportunity shipper in this watch through. I'm trying to loosen the goggles a little bit. So in the lore and the canon, so we see throughout the pilot that Styles is pretty smart. He is the one that's looking at information and processing information, and he is the first person to say the word werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were to believe kind of the things that we see, Derek probably heard him say it.
Mm-hmm.
If Derek's in the woods, just hanging out, he probably heard Styles talking about it.
Yep.
And I really appreciate.
He's an older werewolf. He's fine. He's had practice.
He has had practice. I appreciate in this that Derek talks with his eyebrows. He does a lot of large eyebrow motions in this.
He really does. And Tyler Hoechlin's got a set of them too.
He's got some great eyebrows, but Derek likes to talk with his eyebrows. And in a thing that Styles will do for the first few seasons, he is just staring open-mouthed. Styles stares open-mouthed at a lot of things, but one of them is Derek.
Yes.
And so it turns out that Derek has found Scott's inhaler and returns it.
It was very nice of him.
Very nice. So again, Styles being the telling of the screenwriting, he's the tell, not show. He's the one who introduces Derek to the audience. Dude, that was Derek Hale. He's only a few years older than us. His family, they all burned to death in a fire 10 years ago.
Poor Derek.
So as we look at the timeline, we're just going to ignore this entire sentence, but just take it into your heart for right now. That's Derek Hale. He's not that much older than them, and his family all burned to death in a fire. A bummer.
Yep.
But he did return Scott's inhaler.
I hold to this timeline because it makes more sense for Derek to be just out of high school.
Correct.
It makes more sense for him to be 19 while Scott and Styles are 16. It
Yeah.
just does.
It does, and
Like,
that's where we get into some sticky territory.
yeah, because later on, all of a sudden, he's like 25, and you're like, no, no, no.
No, no, no.
And his whole fucking family has burned alive, and he's standing in the ruins of his own home. It's devastating.
It's really devastating. So Scott gets his inhaler back and then goes to work.
Yeah, they don't really establish, and I feel like maybe there's a cut scene, but it doesn't super establish that he volunteers and or works at this animal clinic. He just is like there.
He's just there
Yeah,
doing minor medical care on himself. Like, it's cool.
yeah, it's actually kind of weird given his age that he's working at an animal clinic, and you're like, hold on, who, what, when, where, and why is he allowed to do this?
And after hours.
Yeah. Yeah. After school lacrosse practice and hanging out in the woods, now he's at an animal clinic. Like, what fucking time is it? Does he not have homework? Like, what are the qualifications to work at an animal clinic and be
Without
continuous?
supervision, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. It's very strange.
But we see him doing like some minor medical care, trying to like look at the bandage, and his bite is gone. It's been like a day.
Of course
Weird.
it is. Got that werewolf juice.
Got that werewolf juice.
I'd take that. It'd be fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all healed up, which is convenient because all of a sudden Alison shows up at the clinic because she has hit a dog in the rain.
And she's just sobbing.
Yeah. Well,
I
as would
feel that.
My God, I'd be fucking devastated.
So there are a few bones I'd like to pick with Alison, Miss Alison Argent, in this particular scene. She says, I looked down off because I was changing the song on my iPod. Ma'am. Ma'am.
Yep. You know, you don't have to look down. You can hear the clicks on the wheel.
And I also really appreciate that after she changed the song on her iPod, she hit a dog in the dark, in the rain, and then went outside, picked up the dog, and put it in the back of her car.
Yes.
To drive it to the vet clinic that's not open.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate her train of thought and her physical strength.
Yeah. I mean, at least you didn't just leave it there.
Correct.
So, Scott manages to, the dog is obviously in distress because ouchies. But Scott calms the dog down with his eyes glowing a mysterious shade of gold.
And some pretty intense music.
Some very intense music.
Yeah.
This eye color issue will come back later.
Yes.
But for now, we see that his eyes are glowing gold. And the dog is calm while he both splints the dog's leg and flirts with Alison.
Yes.
And he says that, he saw the vet do this once, so he knows how to do it. Like, okay, I'm sure this dog will not have any lasting impacts.
He's trying. He's trying.
Yeah, but all is well with the dog, thankfully.
All is well with the dog, and the dog and Scott share like a non-supernatural connection. So Allison's like soaking wet, so Scott offers her a spare t-shirt, and he is caught looking at her while she's changing, and then the dog looks up at him and is like, bro,
yep. Mm-hmm.
Sir. Mm-hmm. And then Scott looks back down like, okay.
Also weird, but fine.
Also weird, but a little bit fine.
Yeah.
The scene, for as like silly as it is, it's so incredibly sweet and so soft. Scott trying to make Alison feel better, Alison getting some character development in, just Scott being just like a cute, silly, sweet little puppy. He's just adorable.
He's a good dude.
He's a good dude. Yeah. You don't want her to sue. I've heard this breed is very litigious. Like, sir, who you trying to impress? Oh, right. The pretty girl next to you.
Yeah. He is a good dude. It is unfortunate that he starts sleepwalking.
It is, because he's all high on his flirting and he falls asleep and then he wakes up in the forest.
And in a pool.
Yeah. He wakes up in a forest and sees the scary monster and then runs through the forest and then leaps over a fence into a pool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad way to start your day.
Not great. Not great. It does later, it doesn't lead to, but we do later get a fantastic line when Jackson confronts Scott thinking that he's on steroids later in the day.
Where are you getting your juice?
My mom does all the grocery shopping.
I wonder if the writer knew that was going to be iconic. I
hope
they did. I hope they did.
It's just super good. Yeah. It's funny because I feel like those things were missing in later seasons.
They definitely were. The comedy kind of goes out the window.
Yeah, because it's a dramedy, I think.
Mhm.
It's a dramedy. It's not simply a scary TV show,
Right.
which is nice because there's plenty of scary TV shows out there. I didn't need another one.
No.
And it's not that scary, right? Like,
No.
it's either gotta be Yellow Jackets or it's gotta be silly funny. You can't.
Right. So Jackson's confronting Scott, and Scott has like a minor breakdown, which is completely reasonable for a 15-year-old boy who is, seeing, hearing, and smelling things that he shouldn't be able to see, hear, and smell.
Mhm.
But Jackson does not buy it.
Mm-mm. No, why would he? Because it's all insane.
Completely.
And, if someone goes off on you of like, "I'm saying things that I shouldn't," you'd be like, "Okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy. But we
I'm just
know
gonna."
that Scott he's not fooling.
No,
He is trying his best.
he does. He tries. He's a good kid,
So,
for now.
under my notes, under Styles being smart, according to his creep in at the sheriff's office, there were animal hairs found on the dead body, and they turned out to be wolf hair.
Mhm. I guess there are wolves
His
in
defeated
California
face
after all.
says that he's seriously leaning into the lycanthropy theory.
Yes. I love that this is canon, not fanon, that he is like this, that he has these full research modes, taking Adderall, up all night, papers on the floors, laying out facts, making connections. Because sometimes I think fans take characters and then extrapolate and really kind of draw out pieces of them until they're almost unrecognizable. And this is not one of those things. Like, this is a core piece of Styles' personality,
Yeah, 100%.
and you see it from the beginning.
Mhm. So they're playing lacrosse, and Scott is getting much, much better again. Jackson is still having none of it. And in my favorite moment of the episode, Coach says to Scott that he made first line, and the entire crowd behind Scott stands up to cheer. Like, I don't know, but it's fantastic to watch.
The people who didn't even know he existed.
And Scott is just unbelievably sweet in this moment. He's so happy.
He is. He made first line.
He made first line. This year's going great.
Kind of.
So far, school stuff is all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Except for the werewolf thing.
Except for the werewolf thing. But we're working on it.
Well, what he's not working on is his temper. And
No.
this comes up at Lydia's party.
It does. So Scott, he's asked Alison out on a date when she came into the vet's office, and they're going to Lydia's party. And as Styles has said earlier, no one raises your pulse quite like Alison does. So Scott finds himself a little overstimulated at the party,
Yes.
and his werewolf control issues kind of come to the forefront.
Yes. Yep. I don't remember when it started happening in Fanon or just the creators, but just calling it getting wolfed out.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
But
absolutely what happens is
correct.
he starts like getting the teeth and claws and like ear hair.
And the ears, yeah.
Yeah, the ears and like ear hair. And he ditches. He has to run off before he thinks he'll do something to Allison. And Derek, who has been lurking at this high school party, even though again, he is just out of high school, so it's not that weird, I don't think, other than he reads older because Tyler Hoechlin is so attractive.
Yes, this is true.
Derek approaches Allison being like, I'm a friend of Scott's. And because of how the story is portraying Derek as a possible suspect for the murder of the girl, we're supposed to be afraid for Allison in that moment.
We are definitely afraid for Alison in that moment.
Yeah, because Scott thinks that Derek is the werewolf who bit him and killed the girl in the woods. And Styles is like, BT dubs, Derek drove Allison home from the party.
And
So
so Scott is having a bad night in the bathroom.
Scott goes as full wolf as he can at this moment and takes off for the Argent's house. But Allison is already safely at home.
Yeah, and
Surprise.
Styles finds her there, and it's super cool. But Scott's running through the woods trying to find her.
Mm-hmm.
But who finds him first?
Yeah, well, he's drawn into the woods by the scent of Allison's jacket.
Placed there
by Derek.
by Derek to bring him into the woods and away from Allison's house because he knows
Hmm.
that if Scott goes to Allison's house, it's going to be bad news bears.
Yes, because Derek is trying to protect Scott from himself because he knows what the fuck is going on.
And also from these other guys who show up in this scene.
Yes, a bunch of hunters arrive in the woods, including one Daddy Argent.
Who we don't know that's Daddy Argent just yet, but there's an incredibly attractive older gentleman who comes out and shoots Scott
Yes.
in the arm with an exploding arrow, and you're like, oh no, that is bad. Don't do
Yep.
that.
Yep. Arrows go flying, there's guns, and Derek explains that hunters have been after wolves for centuries. So now we are introduced to the concept of hunters who are obviously hunting wolves, which is not great because now we have our antagonists for at least the season.
At
We
least, yeah.
have wolves, werewolves, and we have the hunters who are going after them. And now Scott not only has to confront the fact that he is a werewolf, he has to fucking survive the lacrosse team and not get shot by an arrow in the woods.
Not get shot by an arrow in the woods. And like,
Not great.
as I watch this as an adult, I feel so much sympathy for Scott.
Yeah.
The kid is 15. He has had a hard couple of days and he is having a harder day right now. It keeps getting harder and he's so scared. And I'm like, yes, you are 100% entitled to your feelings in this moment. I am so sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But here we get a couple of motifs that'll show up a little later. Derek says the bite is a gift.
Mm-hmm. Is it though,
says,
Derek?
And Scott says, I don't want it. And Derek keeps talking and goes, you and me, we're brothers now.
I felt, knowing what happens later, is I felt so bad for Derek.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he just wants a family again.
He does. He just wants to, like, be with other people again.
Yeah. Yeah. His whole family has died. He is again, a pack animal. He is a pack creature person.
And he is alone.
Alone in the fucking woods in a burnt out house. And a kid. He's a kid. He's 19.
He's a kid. And that's another thing, is that when you're supposed to watch it and you're supposed to see Derek as this like big adult, this big adult creature. And the more you watch the show, you're like, he is also just a kid.
He's
like
a kid.
I don't know about y'all, but my brain didn't totally solidify. I must have been at least dead. I'm not even sure if it's solidified all the way now. I'm in my 30s. Like when I was 19, when I was 25, I was just I was a Teletubby with a credit card. My brain was made of garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're all just trying their best. They're kids. They're all just kids.
Yeah. And he's just doing what little he knows. And this is what he doesn't do it well. Right. And he's kind of thrown into a situation because of what we'll find out later of what happens to Scott. But like,
yeah,
he's doing his best with what little he knows how to do.
Correct.
And it sucks.
So Scott's basically out there until morning, and Styles picks him up in the Jeep. And Styles gives Scott his jacket, his blazer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's incredibly sweet. That's very, very cute. Styles suggests that they tell Alison about Scott being a werewolf, and the real reason that he ditched her that idea doesn't go over great with Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't go well. So we finally get to the next day at school. And, Scott's all geared up for lacrosse, and he runs up to Alison.
Yes. Alison's annoyed with him, obviously, because, the previous evening was weird, but it's going to give him a second chance. And again, she's known this dude for what, like 2 days?
Maybe.
3 days?
Maybe.
And then her dad comes to pick her up.
That's my dad. I'd better go.
Guess who it is?
It is the same scary, beautiful hunter from the woods who shot Scott with an arrow that exploded.
Sure is.
Sure is.
Sure is, Daddy Argent.
Hi, Daddy.
Yep.
So,
surprise, Scott, things just got a whole lot worse for you.
So we finish out the episode with a lot of stuff that has happened. And they've set up a lot of things for the season and for the series.
Yes. There is a lot happening here.
There's a lot happening here.
Having to become a werewolf, knowing what that is.
Introducing the antagonists.
Yep. Well, the first set of antagonists, but we don't even know that yet.
Right. But like the hunters and the scary monster.
Yep. The body in the woods.
Yep.
Don't even know what's happening with that yet.
Nope.
Won't know that until the next episode.
Yeah.
Derek, who they still think is a murderer.
Yep.
Dating. High school in general.
So hard. Trying to be popular, trying to be good at lacrosse, trying to get off the
Yeah.
bench, trying to pass classes, trying to read
Yep.
Kafka.
Fuck Kafka.
Poor kiddos.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and obviously, knowing how TV shows work, they're gonna throw more at him.
Every single episode. Kid can't
Yeah.
catch a break.
He cannot, and it's really, I think, set up for the audience to try to decide, is Scott up to it?
Right.
Like, is he gonna be able to handle this shit? I don't know. Is he? Will he
I don't
be able
know.
to handle it?
Well, they made quote unquote 6 seasons, so he
Yeah.
does something.
Something happens.
He is
He
the
doesn't-
protagonist with a capital P.
He sure is the protagonist amongst some others, but yes, he is the lead of the show. So
He is in fact the teen wolf.
he is the teen wolf. Yeah.
He is the teen wolf. Like, and that's one of the things that we tend to lose in fandom. Is we get so wrapped up in the side characters, and it's like, no. Actually, Scott is in fact the protagonist.
Yeah. I mean, I am a Styles Derek stan, but unfortunately, Scott is the main character.
It's Lydia for me, and in a very tight like 1-2 is a character named Erica, who we're gonna meet in season 2.
I always forget that she doesn't arrive until season 2.
She doesn't arrive till season 2, and it makes me so mad. I'm like, I want more of you, but I will settle for season 2. Like, let's go.
Yeah, there's a whole raft of characters that I'm like, where are they? Like,
where are you? You're like, you don't know. Where are you? Exactly.
Where's Boyd?
Yeah. But at least, so we've got our main set of characters. We've got Scott and his bestie Styles. We've got Scott's mom, Melissa.
Yeah.
And Styles' dad, the sheriff. We've got Alison and her daddy, the hunter man.
Unnamed hunter man at this point.
Unnamed hunter man. We've got Lydia, Alison's new BFF, and her boyfriend, Jackson. And that's a pretty, and Derek, of course, kind of like being spooky in the shadows. So that's really our core cast of characters right this second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pretty solid for your pilot.
Could make a good show based off of that cast of characters.
So I guess the question is this a good pilot?
Yes. Yes, it is a good pilot. The only thing that continues to irk me about it is with my GIF maker hat on, because I am a Tumblr GIF maker. That's like one of the things that I do. This episode is so hard to color because everything is like a little more yellow or a little more blue than it really needs to be. And so, like, I can just never get the temperature right on this freaking episode.
Sure.
But it does have a very specific visual style. I like it. And by the end of the pilot, I'm interested in all these things. They've set up a bunch of mysteries. They have answered just enough questions that, like, I'm still on board. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is a distinct blue tinge to it. A very Twilight blue tinge.
Yes.
Yep.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that I still want to completely shout out in this episode, as it runs an embarrassingly long amount of time, is that one of the things that I often forget until I go back to season 1 is that the show was put on by MTV, which is music television. The music, especially in the first couple of seasons, is so good.
Yeah.
Like the music in the first season, the music in the second season in particular, they're so good. There's so many good songs. They're used so well. I just really enjoy listening to all of this music, whereas I can't say that for a lot of TV shows. So good job, MTV.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's what they were good at for a while.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, it's what they did.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Remember, kids, MTV used to play music videos.
They did. All day, all night. Appointment viewing.
Well, music videos used to be. No.
Debut. Yeah.
Well, that was the pilot episode of Teen Wolf, and our pilot episode of Pack Dynamics, a Teen Wolf podcast.
Just
that's gonna flow.
If you've made it here, just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to us talk about this. I have been looking forward to this for a long time. So thanks for being here.
We are longtime watchers, first time talkers.
Correct.
Well, about this anyway.
Yeah, about this. Emily's got, her stuff, but this is my kind of first main foray. If you're on the Patreon, I did a guest spot moons ago.
Ah, yes, moons.
Moons ago, yes. I did a That's My Ship episode. And unfortunately, looking back at it, my goggles were on a little too tight at the time. They were on a little too tight. I got some stuff wrong. So I will be correcting that as we get to these episodes.
Should we link it? Should we link the That's My Ship episode?
Sure. For fun and for profit. No. But no, please enjoy that if that's a thing that you are into. But please know that I got some stuff wrong in it because my goggles were on too tight. So I apologize for that. And as we move through the series, I will be correcting the things I got wrong because I still feel pretty bad about it. So, but definitely link it below. And, we will see you all next time.
Yes, you can find this in the Fandom on the Rocks feed and wherever you find your podcasts. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
Oh.
You've been listening to Pack Dynamics, a Fandom on the Rocks podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. You can follow us online at Fandom on the Rocks. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can subscribe to our Patreon account at patreon.com/fandomontherocks. Subscribers get access to ad-free content, exclusive bonus episodes deep diving into fandom, and more. So until next time, keep your pack close.